SNnews News Radio. Thank you so much for coming in with Indacarseat, DatGuY, StreetNOW News. Your Jake, Terry Dwayne Ashford. It's Terry Dwayne Ashford here. And we're coming in about 2:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on April 30th. And we're giving you the details from the earlier morning reporting with a bank account, with the bank account information. The Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police in vehicle number 4072 that occurred around 10 a.m. And the Caucasian male in the blue shirt and Silverado on the corner of Crittenden Northeast. And also, what goes along with that particular incident was the sucking of the rib bone. Reference that. For StreetNOW News, I'm Terry Dwayne Ashford. We're bringing that to you. We're going to give you the details of the that we reported earlier today from our tweet station, our DatGuY StreetNOW News tweet station. We want you to click the link there for the tweet station, and you will find this particular production there for you. We're going to run it for you on this particular broadcast. Terry Dwayne Ashford gives credit to Anchor Broadcasting for sounds behind the stage. Here we're reporting on April 30th. WSSC employee Marion. We thank you all so much for your listening in. We're going to go ahead and give you that information one more time. Again, this is the bank account. And we're talking about here what appears to that stimulus check was posted to accounts that I don't know what is going on with it, but it looks like that's been pulled out as soon as it's been posted. We also want to share some other things with you. We've noticed that when we go online and do the online banking that shows our account statements online, we've actually, from SNnews, Terry Dwayne Ashford's verification, we've gone and gotten that set up about 3 or 4 times, and every time we set it up, we go back the next day, and access has been taken from us. We do the same thing with the voice access. It appeared that somebody did not want us to access our own account from the internet basis and also from the voice basis. What that left was having to rely on a person. Now, what if that person was connected to a crime or a corrupted scheme? Is what we're getting at right now. I'm going to jump you right back into the programming from this morning. Right now, I'm Terry Dwayne Ashford, the voice of SNnews. Terry Dwayne Ashford gives credit to Anchor Broadcasting for sounds behind the stage. Here we're reporting on April 30th. WSSC employee Miriam is the name, and we had a Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police that may have been involved in the providing of information pertaining to the bank account. The Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police is a black female that was driving a SUV vehicle number 4072 at 9:00 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here in Washington, D.C., waiting on the corner around the block from the conversation, appearing to have been eavesdropping on the call. The Indacarseat, that guy, Terry Dwayne Ashford, was on resetting his account with the bank. Now, once that particular officer saw Terry Dwayne Ashford was standing right there in front of her and notating all of the information, then we want you to see what happened. The officer sped off in fear. We recited the tag number of the vehicle during the call. We also recited the vehicle number, the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan number during the call on the bank. 4072 was the MPD vehicle number, and the tag number was recited during the call, just in case they were recording, and that particular black female sped off in fear. Well, what are you afraid of? Are you caught? Is that what it is? That's when Indacarseat, that guy, Terry Dwayne Ashford, pulled right up behind her, watching her carrying out deceit with his account. The WSSC bank employee's name was Miriam. She was going around the circle about simply reset the fucking account. We also want to indicate that the confidence of the plot was given by the backup support from a Silverado, a Caucasian male in a blue shirt, heavyset, about 300 pounds, and a Silverado appeared to be working with construction. Silverado that arrived to offer to Indacarseat that guy Terry Dwayne Ashford as the WSSC employee Miriam was providing information. We believe that information was incorrect information because of the alerts that's been placed on our account that provides us with information about deposits. In addition to that, online banking access, voice access has been denied to this particular account, strangely. We believe the online access was manipulated to allow the corruption. Some background information that all accesses to the bank account owned by Terry Dwayne Ashford at WSSC Federal Credit Union has been, in terms of all accesses, outside accesses like internet access, access through the phone system, has been blocked several times. This morning, again, when we realized that there's some manipulation going on behind the scenes with the bank account, we called again to have that information reset, and the bank representative was going back and forth around circles regarding resetting the account, resetting the access to the account. They were trying to keep me from seeing from behind the scenes. They're trying to avoid access, it appears, avoid access to see anything other than what the representative would be able to tell me over the phone. If the representative is working with a corrupted scheme, then they wanted to block your ability to be able to verify that information through any access or account information. And that is what I believe now is the reason why every time I go to the Abbey or every time I go to the internet and try to access the account, it won't let me in. Well, it won't let me in because it's blocking, because it wants me to be able to go directly to the teller, the person who would be working with the scheme. That is what I believe. For instance, Indacarseat, that guy StreetNOW News, we believe that that funds have been deposited to our account, and those funds are being manipulated by the bank under the manipulation of the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police and fraud. This particular report is brought to you by Terry Dwayne Ashford, Indacarseat, that guy for StreetNOW News. The producer of this report is Terry Dwayne Ashford. The director who directed this report is Terry Dwayne Ashford. The reporter itself is Terry Dwayne Ashford. The voice is that of Terry Dwayne Ashford. And also the face on the cover of this particular audio broadcast is that of Terry Dwayne Ashford. The date is April 30th, 2021. It's Friday morning. And we believe that deposits have been made to our bank account, and those deposits may have been manipulated by the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police from inside, manipulating the accounts of Terry Dwayne Ashford through inside employees. For StreetNOW News, I'm Terry Dwayne Ashford. For SNnews, Terry Ashford, what you guys have going on here in D.C. appears to be a mess. A total mess. Terry Dwayne Ashford, we're coming right on back in. We're going to close out the day with this information. Now, the tag number for that Silverado, driven by the Caucasian male in the blue shirt with the huge belly on the corner of Crittenden Northeast. That tag number is 7EJ2889. We also want to share with you some information regarding the phone call with Miriam at WSSC Federal Credit Union. It appeared that particular phone call was not only baiting, but was providing inaccurate information, and may have even been providing badgering customer service in order to pull agitation out of the customer. In this particular case, Terry Dwayne Ashford, working with that Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police Officer in Vehicle 4072. The recording, let me tell you what happened on that phone call. The customer service representative under the name of Miriam, once she realized that Terry Dwayne Ashford had called back to receive more information from her regarding his account. The customer service representative heard even the slightest bit of agitation as she was badgering with repeated circling information that was not even requested. The representative, Miriam, then placed Terry Dwayne Ashford on what appeared to have been a call that rang throughout the room and may have been recording that particular call at that particular time. Terry Dwayne Ashford said, well, while you just placed me on a call, we're documenting the fact that you've done that. And we're documenting the information as well. We just shared that with her. In a professional matter, we are seeing here where the WSSC Federal Credit Union, by the customer service representative providing inaccurate information, circling information, extraneous information. She provided more information. She provided information we wouldn't even request, and she even attempted to change the address on the account without our authorization. We presume that was a badgering attempt by the customer service representative to pull agitation out of the customer. In this particular case was Terry Dwayne Ashford and myself, and that particular agitation was then supposed to be the push and shove that would have sabotaged Terry Dwayne Ashford. The agitation that you would have heard would have resulted from the circling erroneous information that was been given by Miriam, the customer service representative. In addition to the circling erroneous information, the extra information that was being provided that was not even relating to the call, and then the extra activity that wasn't even relating to the call. All of that, while not providing the information or carrying out the task that the customer was asking for, was supposed to have pulled agitation out of the customer's voice. And that agitation was intended to be used to sabotage Terry Dwayne Ashford, done by WSSC Federal Credit Union Representative Miriam on April 30th morning, while female black officer in vehicle 4072 stood and eavesdropped. Then, all of a sudden, the black officer looks up and sees Terry Dwayne Ashford standing right there in front of her on the call with Miriam, still in a calm tone voice. Now, we are sharing this with you because the black female officer in 4072, Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police, was working with Miriam at WSSC to provide wrong information, erroneous information, extra information, and to do extra things on the account before and prior and not even addressing the customer's issue. What the issue was to reset the account. There's nothing simpler than saying the word reset the account for access. There's nothing more simpler than that. However, the customer service representative, Miriam, went around circles, trying to pull agitation out of the journalist. That's the wrong thing to do for a journalist who knows how to communicate and who can also see these other things going on. That particular agitation pulled out of the voice was then supposed to have been used by the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police to sabotage Terry Dwayne Ashford. We've sniped that for you. We've sniped it simply by broadcasting it for StreetNOW News. It's Terry Dwayne Ashford. That is what happened today. And the time is 3:01 right now. We're closing out this particular second live broadcast today that broadcast the phone call. Again, the tag number for the Silverado of a Caucasian male in a blue shirt represents the manager of the WSSC Federal Credit Union. The manager is already on the manager, and the vice president manager, Frank, has already been discussed and tried to carry out the same activity and failed. For StreetNOW News, I'm Terry Dwayne Ashford. The badgering was supposed to be in the customer service call, and the customer service inability to provide the information that's being requested by the customer, instead doing other things on the account. this.